Hello and welcome back to the League OS Twitch channel, LOS Champs. That is to the third and final series of the night. We had two fantastic ones. We just went from Tier 3 to Tier 2, and now we go to Tier 6. About Champ 1 to Champ 2 range. Again, I am your host, Flash Pandy, by myself again tonight for the third and final time in a row. But today we have Tier 6 3v3 gameplay with Paisley Ray and LatinSeven Lime, both teams coming in at 2 and 1. Paisley Ray with a 7 and 6 game record, and LatinSeven Lime with a 7 and 7 game record. So both teams about middle of the road as far as their games go, but a decent record, sitting at 2 and 1. They've had a series loss, they've had 2 series wins. Both teams looking for their third tonight. Definitely not wanting to drop a second game, as this is week 4 in the middle of the season now. So it is now up to both of these teams to see how much they can do, how well they can compete against each other to get that third win and put themselves in the best possible spot moving into the second half of the season. But again, this is Tier 6, so this is about Champ 1 to Champ 2, sometimes maybe in a little bit of a Champ 3 range here, but nonetheless, it is going to be a fantastic matchup. We just had Tier 2 and Tier 3, so it's a bit different keys to success for this game. For the higher ranks, you may have a little bit more consistency with a high rotation, maybe more consistency with finding teammates in the midfield. In Tier 6, you may have a little bit more physical play. You may have more demos, and you may have more team plays. Maybe, just maybe, some more, like I said, some more demos. You gotta love getting physical. Gotta love playing physical, and sometimes it's fun to see a demolition derby on the field, but being on the receiving end of it is never fun. But again, Paisley Ray, LatinSeven Lime coming at it tonight. We have all 6 players ready to go. We're jumping right into this one. Again, both teams looking to advance to 3 and 1 on the season, and it's still going to be a fantastic, exciting matchup. Again, the Enthusiast Package 1 that you guys can take a look at. I'll explain more about it later. Thank you, Deluxe Drew, for the sub. You are the best. Being told that by cookies. No, but thanks again, Deluxe Drew. Oh, he just subbed? Oh, he just subbed. I'm being told that now by my producer, Deluxe Drew. You just subscribed to the Enthusiast Package. Thank you so much. I'll explain more about that for folks who don't know what that is in just a few minutes, but we have a series to begin. A game 1, 5 minutes on the clock. We have Tier 6, Paisley Ray, LatinSeven Lime, and his wattage 24, Orwiggle and Tricky representing Paisley Ray, and LatinSeven Lime bringing out CK345, Emrico, and Raptor J. This game kind of starting out once again, the ball just kind of residing in the LatinSeven Lime defensive end, or wiggle the touch midfield, but Wattage just kind of waiting there, trying to get the angle on it, as that's a really tough shot to make. Tricky. Ball flows kind of over their head. Raptor J, maybe an opposition touch here. Enrico waiting for it in midfield, but good touch. Good deflection touch by Tricky there to keep that ball out of danger for now. Raptor J out of their defensive end. Touch to the corner, waiting for CK. On the right side, or wiggle, pinch. This ball just kind of leaking around. The ball just kind of sitting in the Paisley Ray defensive end right now. Wanted to clear out to Tricky. Maybe some defensive ball movement is always nice. We said that the keys to success for this one is some team plays, maybe some team coordination as far as finding each other in the midfield, as well as some physical plays. We said that's always nice. Wanted will take over on offense for Paisley Ray. Enrico the pinch back out. Raptor J with a wide open net chance, but still CK is going to be the one. Send it back to the corner. Shot attempt just down by the wayside. Now 50-50 to Raptor J in the midfield. Will take over on offense for LatinSeven Lime. Once again, Enrico, the touch to the backboard. These players are starting to really focus on the backboard now, as it seems like that's a really tough defensive position for players in this ranked range. Champ 1, Champ 2 is kind of getting that agility to be able to reach those touches up high on the backboard. So teams that can take advantage of that are going to be successful. Speaking of which, The first successful shot will fall through the net. The first shot of the game exactly goes to LatinSeven Lime. It'll be a CK 345. Great start for L7 Lime in this one. So it was a walk-in goal as we saw Paisley Ray's defense just kind of left the scene there a little bit. Tried to play a bit too aggressive on offense. Things kind of just didn't necessarily go their way. Third man just kind of pushed up a bit too far. Some demos coming out from CK. It's Raptor J. The corner, maybe looking for a teammate in the midfield, but nobody else there to answer the call. Or Wiggle kind of forced off the backboard. Here's a defensive position that's dangerous. CK is going to be the one to slot it in that tough angle. Very admirable goal there. It'll be the second one for L7 Lime. That shot was not easy to make. Helped out a little bit there by the crossbar, but still fantastic shot by CK, the one credited with 2 goals so far in this game. Wattage trying to get something on net here for Paisley Ray's offense, but once again, CK and Emrico tag team that save. Back to the midfield, Emrico. Can't quite reel in that touch, but the bump will give them just a second to work with here. Big clear from Tricky. Maybe putting some threatening touches here on the net. Wattage just can't quite find it as all 3 players from the L7 Lime team just kind of converged on that ball to keep the pressure out. CK to the backboard, the touch. Good save by Wattage. They didn't make that touch. There was an attacker right there ready for it to take it away. Paisley Ray needs 2 goals here. The Doomsy dish just so close. Third man, Emrico, was rightfully so waiting just to fit a bit back. A good position to save anything that came at them. And here's Raptor J, big clear out. CK just trying to find a doink there off the sidewall. Raptor J once again the touch, but that's a nice outlet play by Wattage to kind of diffuse that pressure. Big clear. Tricky on the receiving end of that pass, but see some great ball movement out of the defensive end of Paisley Ray. Just seems like Wiggle and Wattage are just trying to set up Tricky, who is kind of just up cherry picking in the midfield. It hasn't been successful thus yet. Emrico the touch, dangerous one from the midfield. Wiggle just couldn't quite get back to it in time. It'll be Raptor J there to set up Emrico for the 3rd goal of the game. 3-0 for L7. Wiggle was just up a bit far. The defenders for Paisley Ray just couldn't quite get back in time. Tricky off the kickoff, maybe trying to get some offensive momentum for Paisley Ray now. Once again, taken away by the defenders of Emrico and Raptor J. Raptor J, be careful there, CK. Just waiting in the net for that one. Tricky just couldn't quite reel that one in. CK to the sidewall, Wattage, the touch. Back to the midfield. It's going to be a dangerous ball, but see a lot of demos coming out from LatinSeven right now. It seems like Paisley Ray is trying to be a little slower, a little more methodical, which is totally fine. Sometimes that is a lot harder to read, and in this case, for LatinSeven, it's a bit easier to read, but back to the drawing board for Paisley Ray. They know what they can do. They know what they are up against now. Fantastic win in game 1 for LatinSeven Lime here. Raptor J, the facilitator for this team. 3 assists for the 3 goals that were put in the net. 3 shots for LatinSeven Lime. Not much offense for both teams. Sorry for that little mistake there. But again, LatinSeven Lime with 3 goals on 3 shots. Paisley Ray just trying to find some offensive success there. Great job by LatinSeven Lime once again to handle those shots perfectly. But even shots, not much offense from both teams. This ball just kind of been back and forth between the east and west posts of the field. North and south has had a lot of action as well, but on the extreme ends, not so much, as the ball only saw the net 6 times, actually entered the net 3 times, like I said, from LatinSeven Lime. Fantastic start for them. Raptor J with 3 assists, CK 345, and Emrico with 2 goals and 1 goal respectively. But This is a close series still, folks. 3-0 win. Good start for L7 Lime. Paisley Ray still definitely not out of it yet. They have so much potential. We've seen them put a lot of pressure. Not necessarily registered shots on net, but they still are getting in the middle of those rotations, getting in the mix, getting their hands dirty, and forcing LatinSeven make some uncomfortable plays. There's Tricky in the midfield. We're seeing them just really get in there, get on the ball, and make those difficult touches. They're making it look easy. Here's Tricky to the right side of the field, maybe waiting for a touch. Enrico, the receiving end of that pass. It seems like Tricky just couldn't quite handle that possession enough as they would have liked, but Enrico, here's a big dunk on the net. CK is there to scoop it up and score. CK will be their third goal of the series after a huge 50-50. Place that ball right in front of the net. Plenty of space to work with. And L7 only took them 26 seconds to strike. But they score first. Rafter J now off the kickoff, maybe waiting for some offense to happen here. CK storming out of the net there. Rafter J. Once again, we've said their name a lot throughout this entire series. One has been facilitating these plays with 3 assists last game. Wattage teaming up with Tricky to make that save, make that clearance there, or wiggle. Quick on that ball to the ceiling. Fortunately, just can't quite hold on to that possession. After J, Tricky will dive. That ball kind of sent out to Enrico, who holds that possession continuously in the half of Paisley Ray. After J, sidewall to Orwiggle. Orwiggle once again to Tricky. It's going to be a 1v1 situation. Enrico, they can't quite get back. I don't think they had much boost. In fact, they had 0. Tricky, the walk in goal. That's a great 50 by Orwiggle there. Out of the corner, and Paisley Ray will have their first goal of the series. Enrico back to work off the kickoff. L7 Lime, after conceding their first goal. Paisley Ray, it only took them 1 shot to score in this game. How much more can they do? They have an open net chance. Here's Wattage, the flick past 1. The defender couldn't quite reach it. Raptor J was late, and that's a great job by Wattage 24 to get the job done. Pop it high, bait out the defender, and punish them for biting too early. Great job by Paisley Ray to get a second goal on the board. Wattage again off the kickoff. Already showing a lot of promise. The defensive touch. Oopsies from the defender in net from L7. Lime and Wattage once again, after scoring their first goal, will make it 2. That's a tough touch to make there in the net after the pressure being put on by the initial shot. LatinSeven Lime now struggling to control this Paisley Ray offense that has really come out of absolutely nowhere. As we saw the first half of the game, they didn't have much offense. It's been mostly L7 Lime, and once they scored that first goal, it has been an onslaught of shots. Be careful, the double commit there. It's going to be Rafter J. All 3 players storming back down the field. CK 3-4-5 dumps to the corner. Wiggle there to chase. Hold a possession out of the wall, but just can't quite get the touch. Raptor J to the corner. Again, opposite side. All residing again kind of in the Paisley Ray defensive end. The bump will force it back over. Raptor J just can't quite reel it in. And Wattage again with the 3rd goal of the game. It'll be their hat trick for this one. And I believe that was Raptor J once again that just couldn't quite get that touch. The bump actually was the thing that forced that ball to make its way towards the net. Paisley Ray, you will take that one. Momentum strongly going back in their direction despite the first game there. There's a touch back off the kickoff. Just LatinSeven, they just can't quite hit open nets as of right now. They were doing a great job of it last game, but 3 for 3 for goals and shots. Right now, it has been all Paisley Ray. Tricky put some threatening shots on. Wattage just tries to get one. Orwiggle, the response. That touch just a bit too dangerous. Unfortunately, again, L7 just can't quite get the touch on the net. Enrico just still trying to just get a shot on the net. Last couple of minutes, and then have been LatinSeven Lime just trying to recalibrate their shot. CK, backboard touch, the double tap, shut down by Orwiggle. What a save. That was not an easy one to make, as that was surely going to be a goal. An outstanding save of the match, definitely, for Orwiggle. The man himself tries to find a pass to the midfield. Enrico again. The dump downfield can't quite hold the position as long as they would like. CK, threatening touch to the backboard. We see them trying to do their best to pound the backboard as much as they can and force awkward positioning out of this Paisley Ray defense. But with how quick players in blue are playing in this game, it is really, really making it a tough job for this LatinSeven Lime team to set up and formulate any offensive plays. Tricky. Dump down. It'll be Wattis on the receiving end of that pass. Raptor J to the backboard, but the deflection to the midfield will force Orwiggle to be back in net. Oh man, that touch just so close off the post. Still equal opportunities for both teams. That miss is going to give Raptor J their chance at redemption. They'll slam it right in the net. They're not going to miss that one. Enrico gets the perfect roll out of the corner. The good assist on that one. The deficit is cut to 2. Kickoff goes in favor of L7 Lime, who took this first game in a scoring fashion of 3-0. Tricky. Back the other direction. Wattage. Try and hold a touch there. A little bit of a double commit's going to force some awkward defenders for Tricky. Raptor J, the shot on net. No one else in net. Actually, Orwiggle was there. I couldn't quite see them there. Great save. It's Orwiggle now with 3 saves to their name. That's such a tough save to make once again. Fantastic job. This LatinSeven Lime team has shown to us that they can put some powerful shots on the net. Orwiggle handles them perfectly. Enrico, last chance at life here in game 2, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be Paisley Ray will get the job done, responding after getting swept or shut out in game 1. That is the 4-2 victory in game 2. After both teams only register 3 shots on goal, we now see 6 from Paisley Ray, netting 4 of them. So fantastic job there. It'll be LatinSeven Lime putting on 11 shots. And only, unfortunately for them, only to net 2. And that is to credit Orwiggle and Tricky in net with some fantastic saves. Orwiggle, that one, that air dribble, my goodness, from Raptor J. That was a beautiful air dribble. Would have been a double tap as well, but Orwiggle was just able to get the nose of his car just on that ball and keep it out of the net. Ultimately, continue to keep the game in contention for them. But 4-2 victory, still a fantastic job by Paisley Ray. Still plenty enough time in this series. We now move to technically a best of 3, as this is now a 1-1 series tie between these teams. Both teams just need to win 2 games. They can win 2 games, and they can lose 1 at max. Who will take the victory here? Paisley Ray showing a lot of promise in this second game. LatinSeven showed a lot of promise in game 1, but now I don't know what to think. We are now tied in the series 1-1. Raptor J, the threatening shot, but once again, great save by Tricky on the net. L7 has been putting on some fantastic shots so far this entire series, but it's just credited to Paisley Ray's defense for stepping up and making the tough plays. Ultimately led to their win in the first game. Here CK with another shot. Start game 3 here. Paisley Ray already with 2 great saves. Raptor J with 2 threatening shots. Make it 3. That's another great save from Orwiggle. The demo and net's going to put some pressure on their defense, but CK just can't quite reel in the touch. It'll be forced. Rotation there back. To regain some boost, that is. Tricky, the dump touch back in. Enrico now back. Going to work this ball out of their own corner. Both teams kind of seeing all corners of the field so far in this game. CK, touch to the midfield. Orwiggle, there's a big dunk. Start the Paisley Ray offense. We haven't seen any offense for them, but now we do. Orwiggle is there. Their first shot of the game, their first goal of the series, and Paisley Ray is out to a storming lead. It's a great start for them. Enrico just tried to catch that touch off the wall. That is such a hard play to make. That is a very high level move. These players are definitely capable of it. Fortunately, Enrico just couldn't quite reel it in, or Orwiggle was there to get it done. Once again, back to work. Orwiggle just trying to get this ball moving as quick as possible, doing just that. Tricky. To the backboard. High touch. Wattage there. Just can't quite find the angle. They actually hit the ball. Orwiggle there's again. Tricky. Another chance. This Paisley Ray team is really locking down this LatinSeven Lime defensive end right now. Despite Raptor J putting on 3 really nice shots to start the game. We have a goal for Orwiggle. Paisley Ray still holding on to that lead. Here's a double commit. Orwiggle runs away with this ball. Enrico. Sidewall. Has a man on it. CK will be the one to dive. Wattage out of their corner. That's a dangerous position to put that ball. That Raptor J. Here's the demo. Net wide open for Paisley Ray right now. Enrico, the floater towards 1. Wattage again with a great save. LatinSeven with 4 shots. Make it 5. Actually, it'll stay 4 there. The ball just kind of floated there to the right side. It was a great opportunity, but again, nobody was just nobody was home from LatinSeven. Tricky just can't quite get that touch. That is gonna be a tough one for them. They're gonna want it back. And it took 4 shots, but Raptor J is there. Arguably the easiest of the 4. The most important. And it'll be a tie game here in game 3. CK yet again another shot saved away by Orwiggle. L7 off the kickoff. Just trying to hold off this Paisley Ray offense. As we've seen, as soon as Paisley Ray gets the ball, the blue team holds the ball for a very long time, especially on offense. Seems like they just continuously putting on shots over and over until the defense eventually breaks down. They can say the same thing for LatinSeven, but ultimately it has just been Paisley Ray just doing the better job of getting those uncomfortable saves. Here's Tricky off the backboard. The second chance not gonna go as once again Tricky. That's another mistake. They're going to want that one back yet again. Try to redeem themselves from the first goal. Enrico, the shot just sent high. So that was yet again another chance to take this one here. Wattage waiting midfield for this one. Last man back for Paisley Ray. Still plenty enough space to work with. Enrico, sidewall. Orwiggle's there to catch it. Orwiggle's been the player that facilitates this team so far this entire series. The last game specifically in net. And game 1 in net as well. Enrico the clear out. Paisley Ray almost got punished for pushing a bit too high. LatinSeven saw the vision. Tricky. Standing player so far for Paisley Ray. Couple of mistakes is pretty normal here, but Enrico once again another touch. That one's threatening, and it'll be plenty enough to put it right in the net. And LatinSeven Lime has their first lead of the game. CK there just to make that touch awkward. Credited with the assist for that one. And it'll be the first lead in a while for LatinSeven. Some demos now as we start to see LatinSeven Lime figure out that Paisley Ray is just a well-oiled machine. And it's going to be tough to stop this team unless you get physical, unless you get in there to physically interrupt their rotations. Tricky bounce off the ball, second try, shut down again. In the corner, Enrico advancing this touch. 26 seconds. Paisley Ray's going to need a shot and a goal here. Orwiggle just trying to work this ball out of their own half. The dunk not going to go past Raptor J. Wattage, another touch. Just can't quite get it. And it's going to be Raptor J there for their 5th shot of the game and the 3rd goal for LatinSeven. Such a close miss from Wattage. We've seen so much from all 3 of these Paisley Ray teammates so far. Fortunately for them, it's just a couple of mistakes that have led to the downfall here in game 3, but still, it will be LatinSeven Lime will take this series on series point. Take the series 2 series point, that is. Fantastic win for them. Fortunately for Paisley Ray, plagued with a couple mistakes in that game, but still plenty of time to work with. You still have 2 games. We go to a game 4. See if LatinSeven Lime can clutch out the series here in a 3-1 victory, or will Paisley Ray force a game 5? 12 shots for LatinSeven. A bit of a script change here from the last game. We saw Paisley Ray put on a lot of shots last game, and LatinSeven without as many shots, but this time we kind of saw those shot totals kind of change. We saw Paisley Ray with 6 shots and LatinSeven with 12. Last game we saw Paisley Ray with 11 excuse me, I'm sorry, it was still Paisley Ray with 6 on 4 goals. But still, LatinSeven putting on a lot of offense. They had 11 shots last game, 12 shots this game. They finally see the offense that they have been looking for. And now it's up to them to how well they can continue it. They need one more game here to ultimately take the series. Paisley Ray still very strong offense, very strong defense so far. Just a couple of mistakes. So a couple of mistakes that are just kind of leading them to giving up a couple of goals here, but nothing crazy. Very minor fixes that they can make here. It was tricky last game, kind of missing that touch in front of the net. Yet another one that was caused by a demo, actually, and a bit of a missed touch. And Wattage almost had that save that led to the 3rd goal for LatinSeven Lime in the last game. But 3-1 victory. In game 3, we move to a game 4 to see if LatinSeven Lime can close it out here. Tricky goes for a demo after the bump from Enrico, kind of avenging their teammate there. Enrico forced to make a save or wiggle off the top of the wall. Tricky just tries to get a tight angle touch, but it's not going to go. Some really close touches here. It's tricky, dangerous possession in front of the net. Wattage is forced to make an uncomfortable save. The double tap just goes wide of the net. Enrico once again tries to dive on it. The touch from Tricky is going to be enough to get it past one. Enrico last man back for LatinSeven Lime, but great job showing the agility to keep that ball out of the net once again. Enrico the touch or wiggle to the side wall, maybe trying to facilitate a pass play here. That double tap not going to quite go. CK to the midfield. Back to the hands of Wattage. Waterfall roll to the side wall or wiggle there. Tricky to dish this one up or wiggles all over it. Just can't quite get the touch. This game will remain at 0s. Minute and a half passed. 2 shots registered for Paisley Ray. Bit of a change of pace for LatinSeven, as they usually are the ones putting on the more shots, the more offense so far in this series. And now we are seeing a lot of threatening touches from Paisley Ray's offense as of right now. Tricky the touch off the backboard, putting some threatening shots again. Wattage, the one to do it there. We see Paisley Ray playing with a bit more pace here, bit more pep in their step there. So that'll be shot number 5 registered for this blue offense. Rico struggling to get this ball out, so plenty of boost to work with, but just can't quite get the control on that touch. Raptor J out of their own half, but Wattage is there to put it back in. CK can't quite get it past Tricky, the one player who's been outstanding in this series so far. Trying to again redeem themselves for a couple of mistakes made last game. Or wiggle the touch up. Save away by Enrico once again. Raptor J, awkward touch. Tricky just putting on a lot of pressure right now. Paisley Ray just waiting for this defense from LatinSeven to just break at some point. Or wiggle there. The 50 to the side wall. It's going to put some pressure, Raptor J. But major credit. This team in green right now. Staying strong, staying calm on defense as long as they can. As of right now, they're doing a fantastic job of it with 6 saves on those 7 threatening shots. Still, this game at 0s. The first breakthrough in the Paisley Ray offense we have seen so far. CK finally on offense for LatinSeven Lime. CK just trying to make this way around the touch. Raptor J. Here's the touch. Where's the net? First shot for LatinSeven saved away by Tricky. To the midfield. It's going to be forced off the ball. There's Wattage maybe for a touch. Tricky the free jump. It's going to put some pressure on Orwiggle on the defensive end of the field. CK to the side wall. Enrico, third man up. Forces an awkward positioning. Again, this ball just kind of back in the half of Paisley Ray as of right now. Orwiggle, plenty of boost to work with to the sidewall. Yet again, both teams playing some ping pong. Not much action in the neutral field. It seems like the ball's just kind of been residing in the either extreme end. Here's Wattage, free clear. Maybe a solo play. Air dribble not going to go. CK had a wide open look at net, but Orwiggle once again to the defensive player of the matches so far. Again, taking away that chance. Orwiggle, long field clear. Kind of losing some possession, but Wattage is there on the side wall to reel it in. Tricky just waiting for it. CK to the left wall. Orwiggle now able to hold it in a possession. There's a beautiful touch pass to one. Enrico, last man back. 30 seconds, still 0-0 scoreline. Enrico, big pop to the midfield. Here's a dangerous touch. Rafter J. Enrico on the receiving end of that pass, but again, Orwiggle is there to shut it down. Wattage is going to be beat over the head again for cheating up just a bit too far. And CK is the one to slot it in. 16 seconds to go. And Paisley Ray is going to need a really, really nice chance here to stay alive. LatinSeven Lime got the breakthrough they were looking for. The kickoff back in the favor of CK. Orwiggle waiting for a touch to the backboard. 10 seconds remaining, or it will be L7 Lime taking this one. The bump will give Wattage some time, but 1 second left. Enrico is there for the free dropped ball, and nobody else for Paisley Ray was able to get up to it quick. But GG's to both teams. LatinSeven Lime hangs on with a 1-0 slim scoreline there in Game 4 to ultimately take the series. Despite the 7 shots that we saw from Paisley Ray's offense, it only took 3 for LatinSeven Lime to net a goal there. Congratulations again to LatinSeven Lime for getting the job done yet again in this 4th game, and ultimately taking the series to move on to 3-1. Very comfortable position for them so far in this game. We can kind of talk about what teams did very well. LatinSeven Lime, they put on a lot of pressure once they got the ball in the offensive end. They didn't really allow it to get out of that rhythm as much as the defense would have liked. But for Paisley Ray's offense, once they started putting some shots on, LatinSeven Lime kind of struggled to get the ball out of their half. But like I said, once they did, it didn't take much time for them to get threatening shots on and get the ball in the back of the net. But still, we see a lot of hope for Paisley Ray. We see them with so much offense, with so many chances. They got some done. They had a couple mistakes that led to a couple of goals, but ultimately LatinSeven Lime was able to get it done. And in this one, the standout player to me was Rafter J. Fantastic job for them. Rafter J, congratulations. Welcome.
Hey, thanks. We appreciate it.
It's a huge win for you guys. Will advance to 3-1. You facilitated your team into this one. You're at 2-1. You have 2 series wins. You drop 1. You see this Paisley Ray team's had some success this season. What's the mindset going into tonight?
Keeping our gameplay. We're finding the quicker if we get into a mess like we did our 2nd game, right? We're kind of scattered. We're not protecting each other. A little bit of everybody doing their own ball to work for the team. The quicker we identify that issue and get on the same page and rotate and cover each other again. Like that game, we went all game till 16 seconds left, right? And then we finally scored. So kudos to both teams, holding it together, but we never felt panicked the whole time. And you don't really realize that till it's all over, but I think that contributes to a big part of our success. We have the talent, we're getting it together. So when we can catch ourselves when we're off and not let that be a detriment to the whole series, we think that's a win.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys did a great job of that. And one thing to point out is whenever you guys saw that there was a goal kind of conceded against you guys, you were able to hop back up quick and get right back to it. We kind of saw that after you guys dropped that game 2 there, and the series, you fired back quick with another big win. After you dropped that game 2, the game 1 was pretty confidently in your favor. You dropped the game 2. It's like, okay, well, these guys kind of know what they're doing. What's kind of the comms like about once the series is tied there?
Yeah, well, oftentimes it's easy to get quiet when things aren't going well, but that usually snowballs into, more issues going on. So we just overcome it. We can all handle some honest feedback, right? So if one of us is pushing, one of us isn't pushing enough, we can hear that And we definitely let, a lot of game 2, kudos to everyone, but we beat ourselves, right? If we're ready for a big play or something like that, but we let those little ones beat us, and it's little mistakes that are going to lose it for you in the end. So we try to not repeat the issues in the series. They're going to happen. We're going to whiff, something like that, or we're going to double on accident. But if we sort that out, then we're going to come out on top if we play well together. But
you did just that. You advanced to 3-1 again. Congratulations on the win. A much needed win for you guys, as you're sitting pretty as we're halfway through the season at 3-1. Definitely a very favorable position to be in. So you're, like I said, you're 3-1. Kind of what's the feeling after tonight, being 3-1, kind of looking at the second half of the season? What's kind of the mindset towards that?
Really good. To be honest with you, we don't love that we had the one loss. We know we were out of sorts that week. They got us good. But moving forward, I think, CK is new, with us here, but we've been playing a bunch together, and now a few weeks into the season. Now I think it's feeling more like, okay, here's how we're playing together. Now how do we improve together, adjust to each other, versus still feeling everyone out. So it's feeling much more comfortable and much easier to get back into rhythm. I think an issue we did run into in that game 2, or any of the games that we dropped, is if we have a good, strong showing in our first one, our offensive pressure can be tough to handle sometimes. But if we forget to play defense, that's all for naught, right? So going into that second one, knowing that we can't just carry over our momentum from the first one and just keep playing like, oh yeah, we got this. We're in rhythm. It's a whole new ball game. New rhythm has to start, or we have to stay consistent to keep it on. We can't get lackadaisical and just kind of start going through the motions again.
Yeah, you guys did a great job of staying consistent, holding that balance throughout the entire series. And that's kind of the key to things there, is the balance. So once again, congratulations. The floor is yours if you have any shout outs. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again.
Thanks. We appreciate it. We're really excited to be on the stream tonight. We have a couple other ones we always like to be streamed, but it's cool to be on this one. So thanks for having us. And everyone involved, to be honest. All of LatinSeven, we're scrimming against each other. We're hanging out in chat. We're feeding off of each other's energy, right? We're in other streams cheering them on in the chat as best we can. So it's huge. Everyone's contributing, right? CK, new player, willing to make it all happen with us. Coach coming in huge, right? Also, don't forget, any significant others or anyone else that is allowing us or making time for us to partake and kick some butt over here. So thank you to everyone. Huge. Sonic, obviously, running the show over here. But really, I think without Ron, we're all lost. So big shout out. Kudos to Ron.
You heard it there, folks. That is Raptor J from LatinSeven Lime. Once again, congratulations. I hope you have a fantastic night. But that's all we have for you tonight, folks. 3 fantastic matchups, 3 happy teams, 3 less happy teams, but still, everyone's sitting in a great spot. The lowest team tonight is now sitting at 2-2. Still a great spot to be in. We have 2 teams still at undefeated, 1 moving up to 3-1, and it was just a fantastic night. And to kind of end it out here, why don't we talk about the Enthusiast package one more time, shall we? The Enthusiast package is a way to support your League OS buddies, specifically the LOS Champs League. The Enthusiast package is what provides you with the brand new content. The Founders Circle promotion is what brings you in with the newest folks, the ones that want to support, and the Founders Circle is the one that kind of has the newest introductions to all of the newest content with League OS and the LOS Champs server and league. With that, you can customize your nameplate, your title, your hero image, your avatar border, literally anything you can think of that is customizable with the stream, and as well as future updates. You get the first-hand information, you get the first-hand knowledge, as well as an expanded trophy case. Why don't you? Lovely. I love to see the expanded trophy case for teams that are winning tonight, that are as successful as the 3 teams we saw that won tonight. Alongside that, if you go on right now and purchase the Enthusiast package, which is $20 a year or $2 a month, the Founder Circle promotion is good for the $20 a year promotion as of right now. but you can still get the Twitch Lurker title, the exclusive title for being for purchasing while we are live, and you also included with the Enthusiast title as well. So the Enthusiast package, great way to support, $20 a year or $2 a month, fantastic one. So go out there and support LOS Champs. Tonight, as we saw, Deluxe Drew subscribed at the beginning of this series, and they claimed that Twitch Lurker title. So thanks again to Deluxe Drew for doing that. And I subscribed myself. I could not be happier with what I am given, because this league is fantastic, and we are always here to support LOS Champs. So once again, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I am happy to be here by myself, and I will hope to see you guys again on Tuesday. We are rating the Danger Taco CRL analyst and expert of the game. Show him some love, show him that we sent you, and have a fantastic night.